a few things, and oh, I'm hearing terrible amount of echo. Sorry. Hello?
Yeah, can you, we can hear you now, Ashok, but I don't know, it seems there is some problem, that's why.
Okay.
Are you getting a lot of noise from our side?
I can hear you fine. Did you take me off the microphone? Does it echo whenever? Oh. Go ahead, proceed with your part of the presentation.
I think this is better.
It'll do very well.
Are you still hearing echo?
I'm hearing a lot of echo. Yeah.
Okay, alright.
What about the audience? Are they hearing echo?
No, for us it's good, but still, I think I'll proceed with the presentation in that case, Ashok. Alright, bye-bye. So sorry about that, folks. We were trying to get Ashok on call. He is CTO with Enterprise Security in Symantec, and I know the speaker before me, he didn't have many nice things to say about Symantec, so yeah, but we still do some good work. Alright, so I am Himanshu Dubey. I am currently a director with engineering development team, and in this presentation, the objective is to walk through a history of how malware has evolved over the last 30 years and how it has, how security companies and security products have evolved alongside. So it's a cat and mouse game which has been going on for close to 30 years. For example, when you upgrade your home security, you come up with sensors. Nowadays, having sensors in homes is a new fad. Initially there were just simple locks. The thieves will found a way to work around those locks. They will create keys very easily and get into your homes. So the home security system improved. You then had better locks, now it's sensors, but thieves also keep improving themselves and coming up with better ways or newer ways to get inside your homes. That's the same story with malware authors as well and security companies. Security companies try to protect users against malware attacks, whereas malware authors keep coming up with newer mechanisms to evade this protection all the time. Alright, moving on. I'll skip first few slides because those are the ones that Ashok was going to talk about. I will not be able to do justice to them, so I'll not talk about them. Instead, I'll move to the slide that that was originally supposed to be the part I'll pick up. Okay. So usually we would start this history from the wave 1, which was in 1986. However, we are short on time today, so I'll just skim over first 4 waves and then focus on more recent trends in threat landscape and security industry. So the first very simple viruses were seen in about 1986. These were very simple, and they would simply try to either erase your hard disk or delete some file from your system and infect some other file on your system so that that malware stays forever. Malware spread mechanism used to be floppy drives. For such kind of malware, the solution was very simple. Basic security, basic antivirus signatures, which would go through, do a string scan of the file, and whenever the string matched a known malicious pattern, it would detect it. So that was the first wave, and the solution was antivirus signatures. Then came the second wave in around 1990s. Malware authors got a bit smarter, and they started encrypting their malware code with, however, the encryption code was part of the actual malware itself. But the encryption mechanism was custom, and it used to get auto-modify itself whenever it wrote itself onto a second binary. These types of malwares are usually known as polymorphic viruses. Security products came up with emulation-based scanning, where the code will be decoded, and the decoded code, against the decoded code, string scanning or match will be done. And then again, the antivirus signatures would work after emulation-based decryption. The third wave was close to 1995. This was the time when Microsoft introduced a concept of macros within Microsoft Office products. Now, these macros are, I'm sure a lot of people here know about macros. They are a way for a Word document or an Excel document to support running a type of code when they are executed. So for macro viruses, there were some solutions that security products came up with. However, none of them was as effective as digital signatures, which Microsoft started requiring with release of Microsoft 2000. So that's when Microsoft viruses were like extinct. Wave 4 was at the time when people started communicating over network, and the data was moving over network, applications would communicate over network. Malware also evolved, and before this, malware would spread from file to file. Close to 2000s though, malware learned and started spreading over network from one machine to another machine. This was achieved by exploiting vulnerabilities or bugs in software that supported this network communication. In order to protect against that, security companies came up with the concept of vulnerability-centric signatures. So the idea was that these signatures would look at network packets and determine if the network traffic is trying to exploit a bug or a vulnerability and would block it. Alright. My apologies, I have gone really fast till now. In next few slides, I'll go a bit slower because these are the slides which talk more about the recent trends in malware industry. Alright. So the next wave started close to 2004. This was the time when everybody was getting on internet. As internet grew, malware authors found a new mechanism or a new way to send across malware to user system. Till now, the signatures were used to detect or protect against the malware. So for malware authors, it wasn't proving very lucrative because once they released the malware, in a few days, security products will release a signature, and then the malware would be detected or blocked. And they could not create a new malware every 2 or 3 days. So they started using something known as attacker-side polymorphism, and they started using something known as packers, custom packers. For example, UPX, EX processor, and others. These packers allow you to obfuscate a binary so that its static code changes completely and it is unrecognizable for any static mechanism. So here you can see an example that when malware attack file passes through UPX, it is changed. It's obfuscated, compressed, and at the top, the packer adds an unpacking code. Now, since these are custom packers, so security products do not know how they are being packed, and they cannot really unpack them. This is what the binary becomes. The static code is completely different, and it's no longer recognizable. It's not the same as the original file. With this, a malware author can get the same malware and survive for many, many days. It will not be detected by signatures, right? Once it gets onto the user system, the unpacked code will execute. It will decompress the compressed part, and the actual malware will run on the user system, and they will take care or take control of the system. Right. So how do we protect against these kind of attacks? right? That's where, if you look at these kind of malware, they look different at the surface. So the static code is different for each malware. However, once they are executed, the instructions executed by them or the activities that they do on the system are same, because they are just packed, right? There was no change in malware behavior. So for these 4 variants, the malware behavior is exactly same. Okay. Right. So the solution that security companies came up with was behavior blocking. Okay? And behavior blocking is achieved through a machine learning concept known as decision trees or random forests. When the malware is running, its runtime activities or behavior will be tracked, and all of that behavior will be scored by this decision tree. Once it hits any leaf node, whether it is malicious or clean, accordingly a decision will be taken. Right. So this was the solution for wave 5 of web-based malware. Malware authors got smart. They realized that just packing the code wasn't helping them a lot. So can they somehow generate different strand of the malware automatically? That is what started in about 2007, which was wave number 6. So anybody who would, at this time, we saw a rise in auto malware generating toolkits. These toolkits will generate malware automatically. You just have to specify what is the behavior that it wants to exhibit or some parameters, that's it. So everybody who would navigate to an infected website will get a different variant of the malware. So now this is a huge problem because it's a new variant and it cannot easily be protected against. Security industry had a lot of challenges at this time. This was the time when Google's PageRank algorithm was the de facto standard. Google was using or is still using wisdom of crowd to rank pages and search results. So security industry people thought, can they use something similar? Because even security products are installed on millions and millions of computers, and I hope people sitting here, you have some sort of security product installed in your system. Even if it's a free product, it's fine, but you should have something. So, can they use intelligence gathered or garnered from all of these systems, right? If you look at it, if someone who gets infected very regularly, they have a bad hygiene. And someone who is really, really safe, they have good hygiene, who never gets infected. So for example, half the population in this room maybe never get infected. So if a new file arrives on their system who have never seen an infection in last 1 year, then it's highly likely that this new file is clean. However, there is other group who is habitual of getting infected, clicking on unknown links, downloading attachment from emails, and getting infected. So if a new file arrives on those user system, then the chances of it being malicious are higher. And that's what gave rise to something known as hygiene-based reputation. If you look at security products right now, if you go to any security products website, you'll see that they all claim to have reputation-based security. At its core, this is what it does. It looks at which users are getting the file, and it uses this association of file and the user to determine whether this file is potentially malicious or clean. And I have already been warned about time, so I'll try to move a bit faster, but I have maybe 5 more slides. Okay, moving on. So then, this is probably the biggest challenge of recent times, targeted attacks. How many of you have heard about Stuxnet or DoQ or any other targeted attack? Show of hands. Right, very few people. Okay, so this is something which is a major challenge right now, because here at least the theory is that countries are waging war against other countries. It's a form of a cyber warfare. For example, Stuxnet was the malware which almost destroyed a nuclear plant in Iran a few years back. And it achieved that just through malicious software. It is, there is no confirmation around it, but it is believed that the perpetrator was US government. They wanted Iran to not have a successful nuclear program. So this is the kind of mistakes that targeted attacks deal with. These are the kind of challenges that are in targeted attacks, because you have huge countries, huge underground companies. Yes, there are in fact underground companies which are creating new malware, very sophisticated attacks to get through to people. And their intention is either some major scale disruption or stealing of secrets. For example, we were hearing earlier that the explosives company in Tamil Nadu, they can easily be hacked and anybody can look at how they create their explosives. Now imagine this starts happening for major nuclear reactors or major companies who have their own patents, patented programs and products. It's a huge, huge risk, and it has a significant monetary impact. So this is what is known as targeted attacks. I'll move through these slides. The solution is actually not really protection now, because these attacks are very sophisticated. The way they come to your system, it generally doesn't have anything malicious about it. It's more about cyber security, understanding, knowledge, as well as utilizing the data that can be collected or that is mined to generate intelligence and detect the possibility of a breach or an attack as soon as possible, right? So that's where the big data driven security services come into picture. Moving on, but the intent is that security products already collect a lot of anonymized information from the users or the enterprises where they are running. This information is then looked at by security analysts who mine this data, run complex data mining algorithms, machine learning algorithms on it to identify patterns from it and explore the possibility of an attack. Okay, and coming on to the most recent wave or threat. How many of people here have heard about ransomware? Okay, quite a few, I'm glad. Very few people knew about Stuxnet, but a lot of people know about ransomware. So, do you know what ransomware does? Right, it's a form of a malware, and the intention of ransomware is to encrypt all the files on your system. Okay, so malware authors are becoming more and more financially oriented. When they started 30 years back, their intention only was to corrupt the system or delete some files for your system, create some kind of nuisance. Over time though, it has become a financially motivated scheme, and their intent now is to get your money. That's where ransomware comes into picture. A ransomware would encrypt the system, encrypt all the files, your videos, your photographs, your documents, everything. Let's say you have your ITR or Form 16 stored on your system. All of that will get encrypted and you will not be able to access them. And in order to access them, they will ask you for money, through which, after you pay, they will give you a decryption key and you can decrypt. So, this is how the ransomware timeline looks like. Ransomware has existed for quite a while, however, it's just in last 2-3 years that it has picked up. And there has been a huge surge in ransomware in last 3 years. And ransomware is on mobile as well. So all of you who use Android, iOS, please be safe and have some security product. Alright, moving on, this is how ransomware got onto your system. Okay, once your system is encrypted and it has been blocked, this is the kind of a screen that you will see there. As it says at the top, you have 96 hours to submit the payment. So unless you pay these guys, you will not be able to decrypt it. There are some decryption tools available for known ransomware variants where somebody has been able to break the encryption, but not much. Solutions detect attempts to encrypt, raise cybersecurity awareness. This is a huge challenge, one that was touched upon by the speaker just before me. It's a big problem, something that everybody needs to work towards to solve. And finally, to be honest, there's no real good solution for ransomware problem till now. We are looking for solutions and ideas. So all of you sitting here, this is what ethical hacking is all about. Identifying ways or coming up with ways to protect against those black hat hackers from the evil guys who are hurting regular people, normal users. Alright. Finally, the credit slide. Kerry Neshenberg used to be with Symantec till a couple of years back. He was a fellow with Symantec. He's now working with Google. He created most of these slides. I have made some modifications to it and added something. And Ashok Banerjee, the guy who was trying to connect with us but could not. Alright. Thank you all, and thanks HackTech for giving me this opportunity. I appreciate it.